Questions. How often do you make excuses for not doing something? I do it a lot. And then I realize that I'm making an excuse. And one of those would be around reading. And I hear this a lot from people, is why I thought of this. Because I started doing something again that I did a long time ago and just totally stopped doing. And the excuse that I hear a lot and that I've used before is, I don't have time to read. And I'm talking about physical books, or even, I guess, ebooks. I don't read ebooks, and I do listen to audiobooks, but there's a twist to it, and I'll explain that here in just a minute. Because if you listen to audiobooks, I would like to know, do you truly believe that you retain as much information as you did when you read a physical book? I'm 99.9% sure that is not true, unless you sit undistracted and listen to that audiobook. And I don't know anybody that does that. I know a lot of people that use audiobooks and that get a lot of good information out of them, but they do not stop and just pay attention to that audiobook. So, how to speed read without learning how to speed read? I could have started with that. That's the topic for today: how to speed read without learning how to speed read. Because that's something I've always been fascinated with, and I've done a little bit of training on, but it takes time, and you have to practice. And that falls back into the whole thing about, I don't have time to do that. And it's not high on my priority. Let me say that. You have time for all the things that you find important. Otherwise, you wouldn't do anything. So, I didn't find speed reading to be a high priority task to learn over time and keep up with that. However, if you want to learn how to speed read without learning how to speed read, if you want to do speed reading, do this. Get the physical book and then get the audiobook. And then put the audiobook on, you can start at 2 times speed. I started at 3 times speed. Listen to it and follow along in the book. So number one, you're activating more of your senses while reading, because the speed is so fast on the audio, it forces you to pay more attention, so you retain more. But by also making yourself physically move your eyes and read down the page with the audio, it'll make you read faster without the audio. And I know some of you that know about speed reading, you're probably saying, well, that's subvocalization. It's happening in the background because you're hearing the words and you're going down the page. Well, yes, it is. And if you don't know what subvocalization is when you hear the words or you think the words and you say the words in your head as you're reading. And that's part of the reason that you don't read quite as fast as you could, is because if you're saying each word while you're reading the word, you can only speak so fast, but your brain can work 10 times faster, or 100 times, or a million times faster. So try that. Try this speed reading hack, I call it. And think about what excuses you're making for not doing certain things, because number one, they're not a priority. And number two, you haven't sat down and really thought about a way to figure it out. Just like me, I've been saying, oh man, I wish I had more time to read. And I used to do this audiobook thing years ago and totally forgot about it. Other side note on this is, I get the book from the library and I get the audiobook from the library. And then if I like the book and it's just super impactful and I do want to reread it or have it, I buy it. But I can't buy the book, can't afford the book right now. I don't want to pay for Audible. I don't want to pay for a subscription to audiobooks. Don't. Be creative and get it for free from the library. If you don't have a library card, go get a library card. That's your assignment this week. Because there is a stupid amount. Maybe I'll do a whole segment on stuff you can get at the library, stuff that people pay tens of thousands of dollars for, literally that you can get at the library for free 99, $0 and it makes good sense. So, with that said, have an amazing day because it's better than the